Hello children, get ready with your The Merchant of Venice book. Today we will read Act 3 Scene 2. In ninth class we had read up to Act 3 Scene 1 and now we will start Act 3 Scene 2. We have reached the crisis of the play. The third cascade scene is tensely awaited, though the audience realizes that it will have a favorable outcome for Bassanio. He chooses the correct cascade and wins Portia. Graciano also declares his love for Nerissa. Lorenzo and Jessica arrive with Salarino to announce the loss of Antonio's ships. We are back to Venice and its problems. Bassanio's trip to Belmont has been purchased at Antonio's expense. Bassanio has gambled and won. Antonio gambled and lost. Shylock will have his bond, his revenge. Portia gives a solution by agreeing to pay the debt. She advises Bassanio that after their marriage, he should return to Venice to settle the matter. Thus, this scene unites the world of Venice and the world of Belmont. We have already known that the Prince of Morocco and the Prince of Aragon had tried their luck. The Prince of Morocco chose the Golden Cascade and he found a skull inside it. He did not find the portrait of Portia. Prince of Aragon chose the Silver Cascade and he found a fool's head inside the Silver Cascade and thus lost his game. So both of them failed to win Portia and they returned to their own country. Now the audience is tensely awaiting for the third cascade, and we already know that Portia loves Bassanio and Bassanio has also true love for Portia. So it is anticipated that Bassanio will choose the right cascade, that is the lead cascade, which contains the portrait of Portia. So now Bassanio has arrived in Belmont and we will start the scene 2, Belmont, a room in Portia's house. Enter Bassanio, Portia, Graciano, Nerissa and attendants. Portia. I pray you, tarry, pause a day or two before you hazard, for in choosing wrong, I lose your company, therefore forbear a while. Portia says to Bassanio, I pray you, I request you, tarry. Tarry means wait. Pause a day or two means you stay 1 day or 2 days before you hazard, before you take the risk. For in choosing wrong, I lose your company. And she says that here for means because in choosing the wrong cascade, Portia will lose the company of Bassanio. And we know that according to the conditions laid by Portia's father, one who chooses the wrong cascade will immediately leave Belmont without more speech. And here, if Bassanio chooses the wrong cascade, then Bassanio has to leave Belmont and Portia immediately. Therefore, Portia requests Bassanio to stay a day or two that she can enjoy the company of Bassanio as she loves him. And she cannot violate the conditions of her father. Therefore, she says that forbear a while means have patience for a while, for some time. There's something tells me, but it is not love. I would not lose you. And she says that there is something which tells me that I will not lose you. I don't want to lose you. But she says that it is not love. And you know yourself, hate counsels not in such a quality. And again she says that you know very well that hate does not give such counsel. Counsel means advice. And hate does not give such advice in such quality. So if a person hates somebody, he will not want to enjoy his company. Only if he loves or she loves them, she or he will want to enjoy the company. But lest you should not understand me well, and yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought. And Portia says that she is a little bit shy to express her love towards Bassanio. And when she says that there is something which tells me that I will not lose your company, she says that it is not my love. And again she says indirectly that head does not give such type of advice in this matter or matter of enjoying the company. And she says that the maiden has thoughts only. They do not have a tongue to express their thoughts. I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. And she says to Bassanio that I would like or I wish to detain you, to hold you back here for some month or two before you venture for me, before you take the risk for me. I could teach you how to choose right, but then I am forsworn. And she says that I can teach you how to choose the right casket. And suppose she teaches Bassanio how to choose the right casket, then she will be forsworn or she will be violating the conditions of laid down by her father, the oath she had made to her father that she will not guide anybody or tell anybody to choose the right casket. So will I never be. She says that I can teach you, but I cannot teach, because if I teach, I will disobey my father's order or condition, and she will never do like that. From this we know that Portia is a loyal daughter to her dead father, though her father is dead. She gives him respect and obeys the rules made by her father. So may you miss me. As a result, what will happen? Suppose Bassanio will not choose the right cascade. Immediately he has to leave Belmont, and Portia cannot marry him, and she may miss Bassanio. But if you do means if you miss me, or if you fail to choose the right cascade, you will make me wish a sin that I had been forsworn. Suppose Bassanio loses the lottery of cascades and chooses the wrong cascade, then at that time Portia will think to herself that she would have broken her promise, and she would have committed a sin for teaching Bassanio how to choose the right cascade. Beshrew your eyes. And now Portia curses to the eyes of Bassanio. Beshrew your eyes. They have overlooked me and divided me. They have overlooked means that they have cast a spell, a magic spell, or worked as a magic on Portia and divided her. One half of me is yours, the other half yours. Mine own, I would say, but if mine, then yours, and so all yours. And as Portia loves Bassanio, she says that your eyes have cast a spell on me and divided me into, and one half of me is yours, and the other half yours. She says that I am divided in two halves. One half is yours, and the other half, what? That is Portia's. That is also Bassanio's. Mine own, I would say, but if mine, then yours, and so all yours. And she says that I would say, if it is mine, then it is yours, and so all is yours. Then Portia herself is of Bassanio's. Oh, these naughty times. And now she regrets that, oh, these bad times. Naughty times means bad times. Oh, these naughty times. Put bars between the owners and their rights. They put bars, they put obstacles between the owners and their rights. As Portia said that the two half of Portia or the whole Portia is Bassanio. So now Bassanio is the owner of Portia. And Portia is Bassanio has a right on Portia. But Portia regrets that these naughty times, these bad times, and this time is going on that there is the choice of cascades, and one who will succeed, he will marry Portia. So she says that these naughty times have put bars or obstacles between the owner and his rights. So here who is owner? Bassanio is the owner and Portia is his right. So there is obstacle, there is a bar between the owner and his rights. And so, though yours, not yours. And now she said to Bassanio that though I am yours, I am not yours. Means unless Bassanio chooses the right cascade in the correct process, he will not get Portia. So though Portia loves Bassanio, they love each other. Portia is the right of Bassanio, still Portia is not Bassanio's. Prove it so, let fortune go to hell for it, not I. Then prove it so. Portia says that if it is proved so, you fail to choose the right cascade, then who will be blamed? Fortune will go to hell, fortune will be blamed, fortune will be condemned, not Portia. Means Portia wholeheartedly loves Bassanio, but she is bound by the will of her father. She is restricted by the will of her father, and she cannot do anything though she loves Bassanio. So she says that I will not be blamed for it. Only fortune will be blamed. I speak too long, but it is to pass the time. And she says that I spoke for a long time, and it is only to prolong the time, to make the time lengthy, that she can enjoy the company of Bassanio. Pass the time, to act it, and to draw it out in length, to stay you from election. Election means your choice or selection. And Portia says that I gave such a long speech only to add to the time and to keep you away from making the selection or making the choice. Because if Bassanio will choose the wrong cascade, then immediately he will go away from Belmont and Portia will lose Bassanio's company. So she wants, before making the choice or taking the risk, she will enjoy some time with Bassanio. Bassanio, let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack. Then Bassanio is impatient and he has no patience to wait any longer, and he says that let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack. And he says that let me choose immediately, because I cannot wait any longer. I feel as if I am on a rack. So what is a rack? A rack is an instrument of torture and consisting of frame on which people were stretched. As Portia is trying to stretch out the time until they confessed their crimes, usually of treason of the state. So this is a sort of torture for the guilty person or treacherous persons, and they are stretched on a rack, and it is quite painful. And here Bassanio is impatient to choose the cascades, so he says that I feel as if I am on a rack, so let me choose first, Portia. Upon the rack, Bassanio, then confess what treason there is mingled with your love. So when Bassanio said that I feel as if I am on a rack, Portia says that upon the rack, Bassanio, you are telling you are feeling as if you are on a rack. Then confess your fault. What treason there is mingled with your love. So what treason, what treachery is mixed with your love, that you are feeling as if you are sitting on a rack or stretched on a rack? Bassanio, none but that ugly treason of mistrust. Then Bassanio said that there is no treason in my love, only the mistrust or the doubt. So Bassanio says that his love is true. So only treason is that the mistrust or the doubt in his mind whether he will succeed or not, which makes me fear the enjoying of my love. So he has a little doubt in his mind that whether he will enjoy his love or whether he will marry Portia or succeed in the lottery of cascades or not. There may as well be amity and life between snow and fire as Trajan and my love. So he gives one example. He says that there may as well be amity, uh, will be amity and life between snow and fire. So he says that snow and fire cannot exist together. They do not have life together. Like this, he says that Trajan and my love also cannot live together. There will be no friendship. Amity means friendship. There will be no friendship between Trajan and my love. So there is no question of Trajan or unfaithfulness in his love. Portia. What I fear, you speak upon the rack, where men enforced do speak anything. Portia says that yes. But I fear you speak upon the rack. Bassanio confessed that he does not have any Trajan except a little doubt in his mind whether he will succeed or not. Portia says that yes, but I fear you speak upon the rack, and when a guilty person is stretched on the rack, he confesses anything to come out of that torture. So Portia says that yes, as you are stretched upon the rack, you are saying, where a man enforced to speak anything, where a man is compelled to speak anything to come out of that torture, to be relieved from that torture. Bassanio, promise me life and I will confess the truth. Then Bassanio says that you promise me life, you spare my life, then I will confess the truth, I will speak the truth. Portia, well then confess and live. Then as the guilty person begs for his life and confesses the truth, like this Bassanio also says that you just grant me life, promise me life and I will speak the truth. Then Portia said, well then confess and live. Bassanio, confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. So in a short words, in a short form, he said confess and love. He said that I confess that I have love for you. This is the very gist or the very sum of my confession. O happy torment, when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. And he says that this is a happy torment or a happy torture when the torturer teaches someone the answers to get deliverance or to get relieved from the torture. The person himself will give torture and the person himself will teach the way or the methods how to come out of that torture. Like this, Bassanio says that, oh, this is a happy torture for me because my torturer is teaching me how to get deliverance. But let me to my fortune and the cascades. So as he was impatient to choose the cascades, again he requested Portia to allow him to his fortune and the cascades. Curtains drawn from before the cascades. So the cascades are kept in that room and now the curtains are removed. Portia, away then, I am locked in one of them. Then Portia says that now you go and see, I am locked in one of them, means one of these cascades. There are 3 cascades, gold, silver and lead. And he said that I am locked, I am confined in one of them, means her portrait is kept in one of those cascades. If you do love me, you will find me out. And she says that if you truly love me, then you will find me out. Nerissa and the rest stand all alone. And she ordered to Nerissa, her maid servant or a lady in waiting, and the rest, those who were present, to stand all aside. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. And she ordered her servants to play the music when Bassanio will make his choice of cascades. Here, then, Portia is criticized that when the Prince of Morocco and the Prince of Aragon had made their choice, she did not play any music. But here she wants to play a music indirectly to give hint to Bassanio. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. Then, if he lose, he makes a swan-like end, fading in music, that the comparison may stand more proper. My eye shall be the stream and a watery deathbed for him. And here she gives a beautiful comparison. She says that let the music be sounded while he makes his choice. And suppose Bassanio loses to choose the right cascade, fails to choose the right cascades, he makes a swan-like end. He makes a swan-like end means there is the Elizabethan believe that the swan sings only once just before his death. And here he says, Portia says that if Bassanio fails to choose, then that music will symbolize the swan-like end, as the swan dies and sings and is carried away in the water. Like this, Bassanio will go away from Belmont, while the music will be in sound. Swan-like end, fading in music, that the comparison may stand more proper. She says that this comparison will be more appropriate. My eye shall be the stream and watery deathbed for him. As the swan dies and it is carried away in the water, here also, suppose Bassanio fails, that will be the end of their love, and Bassanio will leave Belmont, and what will be the watery deathbed? Now Portia's eyes full of tears will be the watery deathbed, and this comparison is more appropriate. He may win. So there are two alternatives. Bassanio may lose. If he loses, it will symbolize the swan-like end. Suppose he wins. And what is music then? Then Portia herself tells that suppose Bassanio wins to choose the right cascade, then what will the music symbolize, signify? Then music is even as the flourish when the true subjects bow to a new crowned monarch. And she says that if he wins, then the music will symbolize the flourish of cornets, the flourish of pipes or trumpets, which are blown to give the respect to by the true subjects or the people of the country or a kingdom, when a king is crowned for a new crowned monarch. So when a prince or a king is newly crowned, his people bow their heads with respect and they flourish the cornets or the trumpets or the pipes. So this music will symbolize just like the coronation ceremony of a newly crowned king. Such it is as are those dulcet sounds in a break of day that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage. And she gives another example of his success by saying that such it is as are those dulcet sounds, the sweet music sounds in a break of day. Break of day means in the early morning, that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear, that enter into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage and call him to marriage. She gives two examples. The first example, if Bassanio wins, then this will symbolize just like the coronation ceremony of a newly crowned king. Second example, the music will symbolize just like a sweet music played on the window of the bridegroom in the early morning of his marriage day, to summon him or to call him, welcome him for the marriage. Now he goes. Now he goes, he refers to Bassanio. Now he goes, who no less, with no less presence, but with much more love. And she says that now Bassanio goes with no less presence, but with much more love than young Alcides. Young Alcides, this is the other name of Hercules. And Hercules is the strongest man, the most powerful man of Greece. And his other name is Alcides because his father's name is Alcius. Therefore, he is called as Alcides. And here she refers to a mythological story. And Portia says that now he goes, now Bassanio goes with no less presence. With no less presence means Hercules was very strong and handsome. And she compares Bassanio to Hercules, that he is not less handsome than Alcides or Hercules, but with much more love than young Alcides. With much more love than young Alcides. The story goes like this, that the princess of Troy was given as a sacrifice to a sea monster, and the whole people of Troy were very sad, and the king of Troy had beautiful horses, and Hercules or Alcides was fond of those horses, and he made a bargain with the king that if he gets those horses, he will save his daughter Hesione from the sea monster. And the king agreed to it, and at last Hercules or Alcides went to fight with the sea monster. He fought and became victorious, and at last he married to the princess. But he did not go to fight with the sea monster out of love. But here Portia says that he goes with no less presence, but with much more love than young Alcides. At that time, young Alcides had no love for Hesione or for the princess, but here Bassanio goes with much more love for Portia to take the risk, just like fighting with the sea monster. When he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by howling Troy to the sea monster, and he redeemed means he freed or relieved the virgin tribute, virgin, the unmarried girl or the maiden who was given as a tribute or a sacrifice to the sea monster. I stand for sacrifice, and she herself compares to the princess or to the sacrifice or to Hesione, who is a tribute to the sea monster. And here Alcides, Bassanio refers to Alcides, and Portia refers to the sacrifice, that is the princess Hesione, and the lottery of cascades is the sea monster. And she says that I stand for sacrifice. The rest elope are the Dardanian wives, with bleared visages come forth to view the issue of the exploit. And the rest elope, who are rest elope? Nerissa and the servants Graciano and other persons, those who were present standing aside, they are referred to as Dardanian wives. So who are Dardanian wives? The Trojan women are described as Dardanian wives. Dardanus was the founder of Troy, and from Dardanus the people of Troy are called as Dardanian wives. So they are those who are standing elope. The rest elope are the Dardanian wives, with bleared visages, with tearful faces, come forth to view the issue of the exploit. They have come forth to see the result of the fight. Go, Hercules, live thou, I live. Then Portia says that, go, Hercules, live thou, I live. Means if you succeed, then I succeed, and if you live, I live. With much, much more dismay, I view the fight than thou that makest the field. And she says that with much more concern, I view the fight. I view the exploit means I view the fight. Then who is engaged in the fight? Bassanio is not worried about the fight, not worried about the risk. But who is much more worried? Portia, who is watching that fight, is much worried. A song whilst Bassanio comments on the cascades to himself. Tell me where is fancy bread, or in the heart, or in the head, how begot, how nourished, reply, reply, it is engendered in the eyes, with gazing fed and fancy dies, in the cradle where it lies. Let us all ring fancy's knell, I will begin it ding dong bell, then all sing ding dong bell. So this is the song or the music played to give direction to Bassanio. This is an indirect hint to him that a true love does not originate in eyes, it originates either in head or heart. So he should not be guided by his eyes, he will not choose by outward appearance, he has to use his head and heart. So this tells that tell me where is fancy bread, fancy the temporary love is bread, or in the heart or in the head. How begot, how nourished, reply, reply, it is engendered in the eyes. So reply comes that fancy is born in the eyes. And how is it nourished? Now with gazing fed, and fancy dies in the cradle where it lies. So it is fed with gazing, the constant look, and the fancy dies, this momentary love, the temporary love dies as soon as it is in the cradle. So he says, the song says that let us all ring fancy's knell. We will ring the death bell of fancy or the temporary love. I will begin it ding dong bell, then all sing or all join in the song ding dong bell. Okay, today this much. Again we will start from Bassanio's speech. Thank you.